Hey beloved, welcome to Cocoa Butter Therapy, where we talk about somatics, embodied living, and all the juiciness in between while invoking the healing properties and spirit of cocoa butter. Come ashy, leave classy. I feel like that should be my motto. Come ashy, leave classy. As always, let's start with a practice to really ground into our bodies, ground into our space, whether you're just waking up, or you're getting ready for bed, or you're on your way to work, or whatever it is you're doing. Let's just take a moment to feel into our bodies and connect with each other in this sacred portal and space that we are creating together. So I want to invite you to just find a comfortable place to sit or stand, or whatever position you're in. You can close your eyes or keep your eyes open, whatever works for you in this moment. You can bring a hand to your chest and another hand to your belly to connect your heart with your ancestral gut, connecting the top and the lower part of your body together. Just taking a moment to slowly breathe in through your nose, filling up your belly, and slowly out through your mouth, allowing your shoulders to soften, allowing your jaw, your eyes, your cheeks, your forehead to soften. Taking another deep breath in through the nose, filling up the belly. Pausing and slowly breathing out. Softening your belly, your hips, your pelvis, your feet, your legs, your arms, allowing your whole body to soften. Taking one last cleansing breath in through your nose, filling up your belly. And slowly exhaling through your mouth. In these times when it feels like everything's vying for our attention and there's so many things in our culture and our environment that are trying to take us away from connecting with our energy, our longings, what we care for, what we want to bring to the world, how we want to show up in our bodies and our lives, it's really important for us to start to reclaim and remember the power of our subconscious mind and how to actually befriend it and be in relationship with it. Our ancestors have so many practices and ritual and ceremony that is really about befriending the subconscious mind and understanding how to organize our bodies and the way that we move in the world, our actions and how we show up with this greater collective vision for a possible future. And that's not something that just happens haphazardly. It's something that we have to practice and be in ritual about. And so this is something that I have really been exploring with my life, and being able to see the power in aligning with our subconscious minds, like through the creation of the farm, Susu Community Farm, through a lot of the projects and businesses that I've brought to life. So much of that has been a relationship with the dance of being in relationship with my subconscious mind. So if you know me, you know that one of the things I love to talk about and teach about and explore with people and myself more than anything is the RAS system, the Reticular Activating System. And if you don't know that about me, then you are going to find out today, and probably in many other of our cocoa butter therapies when we spend time together, that the RAS system, the Reticular Activating System, is a system in your body that acts as a filter between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And so what it does is that we are constantly absorbing so much information from our culture and the world around us all the time, way more than our conscious mind is able to perceive and be in awareness of. So what happens is there's billboards and magazines and people talking and birds chirping and all of these things in our external environment environment. We have pores all over our bodies. We have our eyes, our sense organs, and so our body is taking in all of this information, millions of bits of information per second. And with the millions of bits of information per second, our bodies, our conscious minds can really only process 1 to 3 bits of information per second out of the billions our body is taking in. So that's a very small amount that our conscious mind is taking in. And so our bodies basically have the RAS system, this filter in place to make sense of what information gets sent to our conscious mind and what information stays in our subconscious or that we discard. So one of the ways that our reticular activating system decides what information will go into our conscious mind and what information will be filtered out is based on the stories that we tell ourselves, based on the beliefs that we tell ourselves, what we believe is true, what we believe is possible, and also based on our conditioning from our childhood and from our life, what we have been taught or conditioned to believe. So the RAS system is also really like a ride or die. And what it's going to do is it's going to filter out any information that's not in service to the story that we believe and that we tell ourselves, and also the story that we've been conditioned to believe and tell ourselves. And that comes from the culture around us, our family, our community, institutions, all different kinds of places that have shaped our perception and belief about what is possible. Another thing that the RAS system will do is that it definitely perpetuates confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is really where you start to remember information that validates your already existing beliefs and discarding information that is contradictory to your already existing beliefs. So if I believe that it is not possible for me to draw a flower, my RAS system is going to filter out any information that would challenge that belief, that would make it possible for me to believe that it is actually possible for me to draw a flower. And my RAS system is going to filter into my conscious mind anything that validates that pre-existing belief I have. So if my pre-existing belief is it's not possible for me to draw a flower, my RAS system will filter to my conscious mind maybe stories about how my fingers are cramping up, or I can't afford to buy pens or pencils, or there's no paper available, or all of these different reasons of why drawing a flower isn't possible for me. And this happens in every aspect of our lives. If I have been conditioned by my community, my family, my culture, or even my own beliefs to believe that it's not possible for me to be in relationships with people who treat me with dignity and prioritize my safety and give me the love and respect I deserve, if I don't believe that that's true, my RAS system will filter out anything in my environment that will challenge that belief. And it will filter in information that validates that belief. So it will guide me to decision making in my daily life where I will be attracted to or attuned to people who are harmful, who are unsafe, who validate that belief that I am unworthy of love and safety and of people honoring and protecting and supporting that vision in my life. And that is not at all to say that violence or harm or any of these things is solely our responsibility or our faults, because that's not true at all. But what it is to say is that we have access to a lot of really potent power in our bodies and a lot of access to possibility. And we often, through what we're taught, don't believe that, and we don't cultivate it, and we don't work with that energy. And when we don't do that, what ends up happening is that we're kind of just haphazardly allowing whatever happens to happen. And when we just allow whatever happens to happen without befriending our subconscious mind, what happens is that our RAS system is automatically going to filter out information for us and align our conscious mind, which also aligns our actions, how we organize our bodies around how we show up in the world. It's going to organize that all around what we have been conditioned by, what we have been taught to believe, which oftentimes is a lot of limiting beliefs and is far less than what we are actually capable of experiencing in our bodies and our lives. One of the really powerful things that becomes possible when working with our RAS system is that we get to actually reclaim our power. We get to take our power back, and we get to befriend our subconscious mind so that we can start to change the story, change the narrative, and actually organize our bodies and our lives around what we care about, what's most important to us, and really starting to shift the way that we see and experience the world so that we can organize ourselves around what we care about, who we want to be around, how we want to be treated, and the lives that we want to be a part of creating and living inside of. It's really important to understand that 96% of our experiences happen outside of our conscious awareness, and 4 to 6% of our experiences are filtered into our conscious awareness. So that means that 96% of what we are feeling and experiencing in the world around us isn't conscious to us. It's living in our subconscious, and then our body is making decisions out of that place. So we can't be aware of what we aren't aware of, but we can start to cultivate a relationship with more choice around what we choose to be aware of, so that 4 to 6% that is in our conscious mind and that is aligned with what we care about. When we start to befriend our subconscious mind and work with the energy of changing the narrative or changing the story, we can really start to explore some of the practices of our ancestors and some of our spiritual practices, like petitions, for example. When you are using your voice to speak, and you're using your hand and ink to write, like the movement of your hand, alchemizing with your voice speaking, is a really powerful way to begin to embody a story that feels important and meaningful for you and to you. So what you can start to do is engage in practices like meditation, where you can start to imagine, how do you want to feel in your body? How do you want to show up in your day? How do you want to be treated by the people that you choose to allow into your life? What do you want your life to look like, to feel like, to be like? What do you want to have more space and time for in your life? How do you want to organize around that? And so when you start to give yourself a little bit of space and permission to begin to imagine and dream about the ways you want to feel in your body, the ways that you want to live your life, the way that you want to be in relationship with others, you can start to write that down, start to create petitions, put them on your altar, put them on your mirror, begin to speak them out loud, and start to train your reticular activating system into what you want it to focus on, so that it will slowly start to filter in information that validates that story, that validates that possible future that you're creating for yourself. And there are so many somatic practices that we can do to really work with our reticular activating system, and that's one of the things I'm really excited about, is being able to start to share some of those practices, some of the practices that I use and have used in my life that have worked in really, really powerful ways, just by shifting my attention towards something else and seeing how much that has made possible for me, even in really subtle ways, but that have profound impacts on our bodies. Let's do some affirmations together to invite our nervous systems, our cells, our blood, our bones, our tissues to start to organize around befriending our subconscious mind, and start to organize around this new relationship with our reticular activating system that we are inviting our bodies to attune to and be in a more active and intentional relationship with. I invite you to be however feels good to be in your body in this moment. You can feel for your belly and your chest again if that feels good for you. You can have your hands on your legs or wherever feels right. You can keep your eyes open or close your eyes. And I'm just going to offer a few affirmations, and you can just allow them to wash over you. You can repeat them after me. I deserve safety. I deserve love. I deserve belonging. I deserve dignity. I deserve peace. I deserve rest. My body is my sanctuary. I create a garden of safety and love inside my body. I create relationship with people who embody and exude love, safety, and dignity. I deserve security. I am resourced, and I am abundant. I invite resource and abundance to flow to and through me. There is enough for me to be well and for everyone to be well. I receive what I need, and I share abundantly with others. I am the living altar, and I anoint myself as the living altar. Ashe. And now just breathing those affirmations in, feeling them in your body, allowing your shoulders to soften into those affirmations, allowing your mouth and your jaw and your eyes and your face muscles to soften into those affirmations, allowing your belly and your pelvis and your legs and your feet to soften into those affirmations. Breathing in the affirmation, I deserve, and breathing out the affirmation, you deserve. And bringing your awareness back to the space. You can take a little bit of your cocoa butter and start to seal those affirmations into your heart, into your body, your legs, your feet, which are your biggest sense organs. Anointing your body with cocoa butter, remembering that cocoa butter is one of our sacred, medicinal, nourishing oils that we use to anoint our skin and to invoke and activate our prayers. So when we rub cocoa butter on us in circular motions, we can say our affirmations. And as we do that, we're starting to physically organize the cells in our body, our blood, our bones, the fluids, our organs. We're starting to organize them around this future that we tell ourselves is possible. We're starting to organize ourselves around a possible future, a future where we are well, where we are safe, where we are cared for, where we are able to honor and venerate and uplift our dignity and honor, venerate, and uplift the dignity of others. And then as we go through our day and we feel the moisture of our skin, we can feel the prayers that we have invoked and moisturized and sealed into our bodies and into our pores and fed our skin. We're literally feeding our skin these prayers, these affirmations, these invocations, these petitions, which helps our reticular activating system to organize around this reality. I want so much for you to feel and to have access to safety and nourishment and dignity and belonging in your body. I'm here rooting for and with you and beside you, and I am so grateful to be part of your journey to finding home in your body, in your community, in your life, and in the world around you. Please share this video with your friends, with your loved ones, so that we can help build this collective of people now organizing around this possible future where we are well and where we are cared for and where we are caring for each other. And subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss Cocoa Butter Therapy Thursdays. And I'll see you next Thursday. I hope that you have a day that is filled with so much nourishment. I hope that you feel moisturized and classy and well, and be well, beloved.